view is that the president acted honestly, without intention, to slight the Supreme Court. But he may have acted on wrong advice. I did not give that advice. It's not my responsibility. I don't know who gave that advice. So I want to say this openly, and because by tomorrow, people will ask me where I stood at this time. So I think the president did not, because in his speech, he acknowledged that there were certain matters in court. So he thought he was playing safe by saying, okay, whilst before you decide these matters in court, may I just provide some middle ground so that the country is burning, there are riots everywhere, so let me just try and provide some succor to the people, whilst acknowledging that the matters are in court. Now, if I were to advise him, I would have advised differently. I did not advise him. It's not my responsibility. I don't know who.
What would you have advised him?
To comply strictly with the tenets of, with the terms of the order of the Supreme Court.
And which is?
All the notes should circulate for now. All the notes. All the old notes circulate side by side with the new notes for now. Because that is the order of the Supreme Court. And by virtue of our Constitution, all authorities in Nigeria, all, must obey the orders of the Supreme Court. Anything to the contrary is a descent to anarchy. And let me tell you, the day we begin to disobey the order of the Supreme Court, that is an invitation to intervention, to revolutionary intervention, or other kind of intervention in our democracy, because the judiciary and the Supreme Court is the last bastion to defend our democracy. So I will not sit down here as a member of the inner bar and desecrate the Supreme Court. I've heard all kinds of arguments. Some people were here yesterday desecrating the Supreme Court, those who are supposedly lawyers. They were casting aspersions on the justices of the Supreme Court. And I want to sit down here and deprecate that in the strongest terms. People who think they are holier than thou, who think, and they say, and what did they say? They said we are angry. This is a time to say the truth. What is the truth? The truth is only your opinion. You can't come here and say you are angry at what? People, these are people who were part of the PDP, who were flushed out by Nigerians in 2015. So what are you angry about? That Nigerians flushed you out? Is our democracy, government of anger by anger or by anger? What's the meaning of anger? Say, I'm angry. Anger is only your opinion. Your anger is only your opinion. We have all agreed, Shehu, we have all agreed to abide by the Constitution as a nation so that we cannot descend into animalistic behavior. And so by so doing, let me finish. By so doing, we have decided that at every point in time we want to change the government, we'll go to the polls and then cast our votes quietly and peacefully. And whatever results are announced and it is free and fair, we accept the outcome. If you disagree, you go to court. And that is why the courts are there to intervene in electoral matters. Now, somebody sits down yesterday, and because in a particular case, he says the Supreme Court did not give the judgment he expects, or their camp expects. These are PDP members coming here to pretend as if they are holier than thou. And he was belly aching over the emo judgment of the Supreme Court. Look, Shehu, did we bellyache over the Zamfara judgment? Where we won convincingly from head to toe. I mean, from governor to the House of Assembly. And the Supreme Court dethroned everybody. We won by more than 400,000 votes in Zamfara. Did you see us bellyache? We played proper politics and Zamfara is back to APC. That's what they should do. Did you see us bellyache when Bayelsa State, that had never been under the control of opposition party, we won convincingly on the field. A day to swearing in. The Supreme Court removed our governor, not by any fault of his, but because of certain discrepancy in his deputy. He didn't commit any offense. Did we bellyache? We took it in good faith. What happened in Rivers State? In Rivers State, the Supreme Court said up to down, nobody should contest in 2019. We never fielded a candidate. The Supreme Court disenfranchised totally all the APC members. Did we bellyache? We took it in good faith. And you come here and you abuse the Supreme Court over one emo judgment? And these are the people who want to rule Nigeria, who have no regard for rule of law in the Supreme Court, and so you are angry? Go and take your anger to the polls. Don't come here and rant. And then you come and pour invectives on one of the government. Imagine telling the public that El-Rufai is you know, he speaks from two sides of the mouth. That kind of language on air yesterday. How dare we entertain such characters in Nigeria? I will not take it.